So, good morning, all of you. I am Shweta Sarangi, and in the previous class, we have studied about water pollution and what are the water pollutants. So, today we are going to study about the effects of water pollution. So, some important effects of various types of water pollutants are as follows. Okay. So, first one is tanneries effluents contain several constituents which are uh, harmful still they are discharged into river, streams, seas, etc. It gives dull brown color to the receiving water causing acidity and other problem. Highly repulsive odor is emitted to the receiving water. The acidic or alkaline effluents are corrosive to concrete and metal pipes. The presence of excessive salt and CR in the wastewater may deteriorate the quality of groundwater in that area. Volatile substances such as alcohols, aldehydes, ethers, and gasoline may cause explosion. Suspended solids such as silt and coal may injure the gills of the fish and cause asphyxiation. Suspended solids may also cause bad odor and taste and also may promote conditions favorable for growth of the pathogenic bacteria. The suspended solids such as hair, flesh, etc. interfere with aeration and photosynthetic activities of the aquatic flora. The effluents may contain pathogenic bacteria also. So these are the various effects of water pollution. Next is how to control it. What are the controls of water pollution? So the control of water pollution is difficult, but we may try for its prevention and minimization. Industrial and developing countries spend a handsome amount of their gross national product on pollution control measures, but the problem is going to be worsening day by day. The main worries before the water pollution control are how poor the water should be, how to prohibit the effluents and discharge into water, to what extent water quality be improved, and how to create public opinion against water pollution. So, therefore, we should adopt the respective safety measures to achieve acceptable water quality at least cost. So, some of these are scientific technique are necessary to be adopted for the environmental control of catchment areas of rivers, lakes, ponds, or streams. Industrial plant should be based on recycling operations. The possible reuse or recycle of treated sewage effluents and industrial waste should be emphasized and encouraged. Minimum appropriate quantity and concentration of fertilizers, pesticides, and insecticides should be used because excess will cause pollution. There should be propaganda for water pollution control on radio, TV, newspaper, etc. because public awareness is a must. Local authorities, industrialists, officials with public participation should coordinate to find ways to control water pollution. Treatment plants should be constructed and government should also help by funding for domestic sewage and industrial effluents. Water resources should be used in the best possible economic way to conduct seminars and training courses for helping those who are directly or indirectly engaged in water management and water pollution control. Next is government should encourage people to participate in research program like disposal of sewage and industrial effluents. Destruction of forest should be discouraged. Our goal should be conservation of forest and plant more trees. Okay, that means deforestation should be discouraged. Next is techniques like adsorption, electrodialysis, ion exchange and reserve osmosis, etc. can be used for the removal of water pollution. Plants should be developed to recover metal from metal bearing waste water. So these are the various steps to control water pollution. Okay. Next is soil pollution. So soil is a very important constituent of the lithosphere. The word soil is derived from the Latin word "solum", which means earthy material in which growth of plant takes place. Soil may be broadly defined as the weathered layer of the earth's crust with living organisms and their products of decay. It is a complex biological system containing water, mineral salts, nutrients, and dissolved oxygen. It provides encourage to plants. The study of soil science is called pedology or edaphology. Okay. So there are various types of earth crust, and the earth's crust basically consists of the following types of rocks like igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock. So what are the importance of soil? So soil plays a vital role in determining the quality and composition of the biosphere which develops over it. The multifarious function of soil are as follows. Soil provides mechanical support to the plants. Owing to the porosity and water holding capacity of soil, it serves as a reservoir of water and supplies water to the plants through their roots even when the land surface is dry. The ion exchange capacity of the soil ensures availability and supply of micro and macro nutrients for the growth of the plants, animals, and microbes. It also helps in preventing excessive leaching of nutrient ions while maintaining proper pH. So soil contains organotrophic bacteria, nitrifying bacteria, nitrogen fixing bacteria, fungi, protozoans, and other microbes which help in decomposition and mineralization of organic matter and regeneration of nutrients. So these are the importance of soil. Next is effects of soil pollution. So soil pollution was originally defined as a contamination of the soil system by considerable quantities of chemical or other substances, resulting in the reduction of its fertility or productivity with the respect to the qualitative and quantitative yield of the crops. However, if some of the contaminants are such that if they are taken up by the plants with or without any detrimental effects on them and enter into the food chain and impact detrimental or toxic effect on the consumers, then that also should be treated as soil pollution. So the soil pollution is receiving greater and greater attention due to its direct impact on public health. The major effects of various types of pollutants are effects of modern agricultural practices, effects of industrial effluents, and effects of urban waste. So we are also going to briefly discuss these 3 points. So effects of modern agricultural practices. So use of NPK fertilizers results in reduction in protein content of the crop. Excessive use of nitrogenous fertilizers lead to the accumulation of nitrates in the soil which may contaminate the groundwater. Some pesticides may make the soil completely infertile. Pesticides residues in soil may be taken up by plants and cause phytotoxicity. So vegetation growth in the nitrogen rich soils may bring toxic effects in cattle. Okay, so these are the effects due to modern agricultural practices. Next is effects of industrial effluents. Solid, liquid, and gaseous chemicals from various industries, as such paper and pulp, iron and steel, fertilizer, dyes, automobiles, pesticides, tanneries, coal-based thermal power plants, etc., contain a variety of pollutants such as toxic heavy metals, solvents, detergents, plastics, suspended particulates, and refractory non-biodegradable chemicals. If they are not properly treated at source, they give rise to water, air, and soil pollution. Fly ash resulting from coal-based thermal power plants is one of the alarming and continuously increasing source of soil pollution, leading to degradation of soil apart from water and air pollution in the nearby areas. So some trade waste such as tannery waste may contain for pathogenic bacteria. Next is effect of urban waste. So lightly treated or untreated urban waste not only pose serious health hazards but also pollute the soil and decrease its fertility and productivity. Some solid waste also cause clogging of groundwater filters. Apart from above, Radioactive waste dumped in soil from natural and man-made sources, soil erosion due to deforestation, unplanned and unscientific agricultural practices leads to land and soil pollution. So these are the effects of soil pollution. Next we are going to study about the control of soil pollution in the next class. Okay, thank you.